You may be able to, if you watch some of the stuff, maybe recognize him. I doubt it, but.
Yeah. And he's a young guy?
Oh yeah, he's super young. He didn't win. He started in 2012 when I think he was. Yeah, he was 24, 25, and turned down $1 billion, bro.
Gosh.
Live stream's back.
Nice.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
You can rejoin on YouTube.
I guess that's the key, to get some kind of business going where the whole world is interested in it,
And you're the boss.
or potentially could be interested in it.
But like what he does is like he's so charitable too. That's how his channel started. Now it's an empire.
So he had money before it started.
That I don't know.
Well, it's hard to be real charitable if you got no money.
This is true. I don't know the backstory on before YouTube.
Yeah, it wouldn't be expensive. It's not that expensive to get a YouTube channel.
No, that's not. But Plowsy said he'd go in and offer somebody $15,000 on a shopping spree. You got to have that kind of money to throw around.
It would be like his first videos would be like going to a homeless guy and getting his hair cut, trim, shower, give him like a couple $1,000s, and I think over time when you get all those views, you get money coming in, and that's when the money is dispersed, and you know.
Well, why don't we do that?
Yeah, let's do it real quick.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay.
But sorry, I hijacked. I didn't have to say.
Not a hijacking.
Somebody turned down $1 billion.
No,
You gotta.
there was something
gotta
about
write up.
Paramore we needed to know.
Learn, Paramore, etc. Rinse, repeat, turbo creep. Lock him up.
Oh,
That's from Stan the
you don't need to
Caddy.
be locked up.
Damn,
Well,
dude,
I
lock 'em up.
just was talking about YouTube, and I just gave an example of how quickly things can get up on YouTube.
Have you ever done anything where you deserve to be locked up for it? Maybe got away with it?
I'd have to think about that. I'm sure there is.
Oh.
I mean, the things I got locked up for, I didn't do. So,
Still innocent.
Still got pinched.
well,
Cheese it, it's the buzz. We're
Well,
going to get pinched.
Free Ken.
Promoting gambling, I did do that. So, you don't need to get locked up for that.
I don't think so. No.
No, they lumped me in with everybody else from Clay Morgan's.
Yeah.
Ooh, our Airbnb is nice.
You weren't exactly a racketeer.
No, I let an undercover agent make 2 basketball bets on Notre Dame, and they got me for promoting gambling.
You got pinched. They take you off in handcuffs?
Yeah, those little plastic ones. I was out of them in like 30 seconds.
Did you stand tall or did you squeal?
It was funny because they tried to get me. First of all, when I walked in, they said, "You're under arrest." I said, "For what?" Possession of cocaine. I said, "No, you got the wrong guy there."
So they said, okay, sorry to
but
bother
he
you.
looked down at his sheet. Promoting gambling. I said, that sounds better. Yeah, but they put you in the room. You actually you thought it was Dragnet. There was a big light. I was waiting for
Really?
the rubber hose to come out.
They put that right in your face?
No, it was just like hanging
Thinking you'd
there.
break? Were you a stool pigeon
They said,
leather?
All right. Your dad's a bookie, right? I said, no, my dad's a bartender. He's a bookie. I said, no, he's not a bookie. All right, do you know anybody fencing stolen property? I said, look, I'm not going to tell you guys anything. You want to put me in jail for letting your dumbass undercover agent make 2 basketball or
Now, why was he a dumbass if they were trying to stop gambling?
2 basketball
was
bets?
his
Go
job.
right ahead. I said, and you know what I'm going to do too? I'm going to tell him the time that he took us to PTs and he was doing coke in the car and got hand play from a girl over on the east side. So
But
go ahead,
You
take
gave
him
it
to
right
court.
back to the fuzz. You
Yeah.
were a hardened perp.
No, I was pissed. I was pissed.
You
So,
stood tall.
I did. They weren't going to get me for anything.
Do you have a lawyer?
Yeah, Rocky.
Rocky, Doug.
Rocky Balboa?
No, I don't know if Rocky wants his last name out there, but he's a great attorney, and his son played basketball.
Oh. And he got you sprung.
No, well, yeah, my sister got me out the next day. She worked for Judge Cloyd in his office, so she just called him and got out for my own recognizance.
Don't try. Don't even try to say such a
Abort.
word.
Don't even try, no. So I pled guilty for my parents. They just...
They were proud.
No,
they were proud that
they
you went
didn't want to
ahead
go
and pled
through it.
guilty.
They didn't want to go through it. It was in the paper. And,
Oh, it was?
yeah.
How long ago was this?
I don't know. I was working at St. Louis Country Club at the time.
Probably didn't go over well there either.
And the mayor of Ladue, or was a mayor of Clayton, I guess. I guess it was in Clayton. She was a member. And I guess she was up for re-election. And the whole thing was these parents, their kids are coming home drunk on weekends. And they're 18 years old. And they're at Clay Morgan's. So I guess they went to her and said, you get this place closed down if you want to get reelected. So what they did is they put an undercover agent in there to infiltrate people to try and find people that were using fake IDs.
Yeah.
And they just lumped everybody in together. And so the night they busted it, I was one of the people they got. found out the guy who befriended us was an undercover agent. So one day I'm working at St. Louis Country Club, and the mayor is reading the paper. She goes, "They finally got this place," and I'm going, "Oh, my name's in there."
You got pinched as well.
They never realized my name was in there. I was working there. So. Why is that a hijack? It's all part of the. I started the story like 10 minutes
It
ago.
was an interesting story.
Good morning, guys. Have you already done the segment where Iggy spends 4 minutes arguing with himself about not being upset with an anonymous burner on Instagram who mocks his adorable photo of a building and a hazy sky? Thanks. That's from Rocky, a very reputable made-up lawyer name.
And I blocked him last night.
You got in an argument with the guy who was critical of your picture of Diamonds Direct.
Well, he went off on my picture of my fish. Somebody asked me, how is a salmon hand raised? I said, I don't know. I said, it's not in the wild. It's in a place where they
A farm.
They feed them in the farm. But it's called hand raised. Go to Google. It says,
Isn't it farm raised?
yeah, but at Westeros salmon, it says hand raised salmon.
Oh,
Do you know
wow.
what his Targaryen?
Dragon fillet is
It's-
for two,
it
please.
said hand raised. So I just said hand raised.
Yeah.
And then the guy who didn't like my picture out of the window said, yeah, why are you so mean? It's you're the one that brought it up. You're the one. I'm sure the company that gives you the fish really loves that you don't know what it is. And I said goodbye, and I just
Yeah, say
blocked him.
goodbye
He's
to him.
done.
The salmon was great, by the way, that you
Yeah.
gave me.
Well, it's go Google Westeros salmon. It says
Well, don't tell me what
hand-raised
to
salmon in
Google.
Scotland. I'm just telling you what it says. I'm not there. I'm not feeding the fish.
No, don't get
Can you imagine
angry.
aged Westeros wine?
Aged Westeros wine?
Yeah.
The world
You know, I'm talking about Game of Thrones, like probably 1,000 years old wine. That'd be very good.
Maybe, or it may have turned to vinegar.
But
Is that what it does?
It was
Yep.
good fish, though. And Jamie Burkhardt texted me and said he finally got some fish from Fabulous Fish Co. And he got the Westeros salmon
There you go.
and the Chilean sea bass.
But get them both.
Got them both.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day. 1992. It was my 21st birthday. My Uncle Richie took me to the smorgasbord at Heritage House. It was like, thanks, man. That was really nice of you. We didn't go home after that.
Where'd you go?
It was straight to the shed on Watson for my first drink. Then he sat me on a bar stool and faced me toward the TV. 10:24. And it was time for the sportscast. When I saw that blonde-headed sportscaster come on, I got an instant erection. He was quite sultry. And then Uncle Richie said, time for you to become a man. Get ready for the 21 Doug salute. This dude's in the running for his first Emmy. With that, all my work buddies started giving me reach arounds.
Oh! With that.
The challenge was to last through the entire broadcast.
Okay.
I would have made it except for the surprise massive man hand with that cold ring finger. I just lost it. And that is the story of why I used to always get an erection when I go into the fishing department and Grandpa Pigeons and
Oh.
see Mr. Thompson's magical left hand. That's from
Mr. Thompson.
Ivana, oh, lady. And then the last name is Touch It.
Ivana Touche.
Grandpa.
She's new.
That happened at the Heritage House.
I think the shed is still there, isn't it?
How long did you have to last for that sportscast?
Yeah, he
Doug,
didn't
you
last
probably
90
had you
seconds.
probably had like
Well,
3.5
depends.
minutes.
If it was Sports Sunday, it was 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lunch in the cafeteria was barbecue brisket, cheddar mac, and a twice-baked potato. The euphoria while dining was eventually met with misery in a lonely, lonely stall. I pushed. I relaxed. And I stimulated progress with my finger. But nothing would abate the feeling of a brick in my tummy. Then, like a romance novel, a hairy Caucasian weighing 3 bills burst through the stall door.
Gosh.
You Danny? He asked with a
You
grin.
Danny.
I gave him a sheepish look, and with that he dropped his trousers and climbed up on my lap facing me.
Oh.
He whispered, we'll do this together.
Oh, no.
We interlocked our fingers and our lips and bared our souls through our holes.
Oh, you
We are
didn't.
now the proud parents of 8-pound chocolate twins.
Ah!
We have our newborn photo scheduled at Sears.
Oh,
Next
Sears is
week.
not around anymore.
That's from Danny Tanner.
Danny Tanner with the horrendous email.
Why are turd stories so funny?
They're not.
And Young, my typewriter is smoking, boys. Tim, it reminds me of a line by Pulitzer Prize finalist Jesus de Ortiz. It went something like this: Doug, fart in my mouth.
Okay,
To
that's
number
enough.
one Asian intern Brian Henson. That made it to the filtered file.
Yeah, nice going, Jackson.
Send that to us.
Henson and Jackson have just been
Jackson's
suspended.
gone.
Not for the weekend.
Henson
Jackson's gone.
and Jackson suspended a
I'll be-
period of 2 days' time. You can come back outside on Monday.
Perfect
2
for
days' time.
Mizzou and WashU.
Your name has both gone into the suspension logule. No, I
I've
know it
never
doesn't
met-
feel good.
I've never met Gareth, but I've dreamed about him every single night for the last year. Ever since that milky white NBA enthusiast described his friend's pudgy physique,
Don't say enthusiast.
I fantasized about caressing Gareth's belly button with one hand while I grab a big old handful of his plump backside with the other. My secret fantasies finally interrupted my reality this morning. You know that thing where you absentmindedly say the wrong thing at the wrong time? Like if a waitress says, "Enjoy your meal," and you say, "You too," even though she doesn't have a meal to enjoy? Well, that sort of happened to me at Starbucks today. A chubby yet dashingly handsome barista handed me my coffee and said, "Here you go. Have a nice day." But instead of saying thanks, I accidentally replied, "I love you too, Gareth. Wow, your
Oh.
upper body is well defined. How much can you bench press? I bet it's a lot. Bet you probably make it look real easy because you're a big, strong man. I can't wait to get my hands in your girth, you dirty little boy
Okay.
pig. Say, fella, how's about you swing by my place tonight and watch me shave my bush? Maybe you could even help me trim my fussy taint. I've got this tough-to-reach spot under my sack that has grown wildly out of control. It looks like a little ponytail on my nuts, and I could use your help trimming it." End quote.
And Jackson thought this was another one that sure needs to be read on the air. HD2 and all.
Don't you just hate it when those little mental slips happen? It's so embarrassing. On the bright side, at least the pudgy barista didn't help me trim my unruly shrubs. It's in the JV golf coach.
JV golf coach.
That was a long-ass response to have a great weekend.
They're getting worse.
And finally, gentlemen, good morning. I'm still playing catch-up due to my absence over the last several months. Praises and hosannas should be sung in the name of Plowsy and Iggy's unrivaled dedication to the craft of giving the listeners what they don't want in the largest of quantities. After checking the podcast feed and where segment 2 and 3 are continually uploaded 7 times apiece, I stumbled upon a little slice of What the Hell Is This entitled Pepper and Genie. From what I gather, this is a passion project hosted and produced by 2 guys with zero passion for the project that they're force-feeding down the throat of Apple's podcast platform like a tipsy listener plunging the remnants of the night's meat lovers down Iggy's drain after an intense night of friction. And in a market-disruptive strategy and never gain an ounce of brand awareness, Genie is spelled differently each day. Presumably is an homage to their crippling illiteracy, and both quote-unquote hosts act as if they're being held hostage to the tremendous non-success of their unsponsored and demandless 6-minute show where an unhealthy lesbian and his pawpaw grab the attention of their audience with captivating and controversial topics ripped from the day's headlines. For example, yesterday's P&G podcast was entitled "This is from Tuesday. Don't listen to it, so not sure what the topic is." Or didn't listen to it, so not sure what the topic is. I think it's dreams. Let us know how you like it. I mean, what else can you say besides these guys have a stick-to-itiveness unlike anything I've ever seen? And sure, the last time they pulled this stunt was when they repackaged the previous day's show as a best-of and then immediately were fired,
that was
only to be rehired after Tim put up his own cash as a form of bail.
Well,
But their natural ability to read the room and pull this move off again is nothing short of Marconi-worthy, if you ask me. Thanks, that's from Ellen Foley's professional photographer who will now spend the next 12 minutes attempting to convince you he's unaffected by a random hateful comment posted by an anonymous burner account regarding an Instagram post of a reflection of a fire extinguisher in the foreground of a sunrise being obstructed by a Diamonds Direct billboard.
Ellen Foley's photog.
And I think that
Peek behind the
how I
curtain there.
worded and phrased that made people want to listen to it.
Yeah, it was teasing.
Telling
Yeah,
them
better
I-
teasing.
It's like the mystery flavor of an airhead.
Sure it did.
Is that it?
Was that it?
Yeah, that's what we got.
Those are two
well,
good
I
ones.
had Ivana Touche checkmarked, but right there at the end, I think Ellen Foley gave us a nice peek behind the curtain, so I'm going to vote for Ellen Foley's Photog.
This is the second time this week I had Danny Tanner penciled in until the last one, but you had me at Passion Project that they have no passion for, so I'm going with Ellen Foley.
Ellen Foley, a ship, the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. And that means Kevin Miller now has a magic number of 1. If he wins, or if anybody other than Danny Tanner, the JV golf coach, wins on Monday, Kevin Miller has gone back to back. This is unbelievable to see.
Yeah, no one thought this was
No
coming.
one saw it coming.
No.
Could Kevin Miller wind up in the Hall of Fame?
Like I said, is a couple of good months doesn't do it because he sucked for many years.
Oh, he did not.
His emails.
He's at every live event.
yeah,
He's
and
quite a
those are
supporter.
good emails, aren't they? Andy Hanselman singing. As they were awful emails, and he's had a couple of good months. It takes more than a couple of good months to be into the Hall of Fame.
What if he won it like 6 straight months? Does
Well,
all this-
then you got to think about it.
Yep. Then you got to think about it.
I'd think about it.
Time for us to shut it down. Pepper and Genie is coming up. What's up next with Pepper and Genie?
No clue.
Talk about weekend plans.
This is
But
a
you're not going to do it,
passion.
aren't you? You're driving to Nashville.
No, dude, I'm dedicated to the craft.
There you go, Doug. See?
But we are going to start it right after the show. and end
You
it
got to
about
get out of
10.
here. Let's go.
Yeah, we can't do that twice in a week.
No.
We can recycle in a month.
People wanna
The
hear
Colonel's going to break it down at 10:15, presented by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. Doug, white pant, white jersey, white helmet,
Don't like
black
it.
tiger script.
Awful.
I actually like the.
I kind of
Yes!
like it. Yeah, I like it too.
I gotta say, I
Blue
kind of,
helmet, a
dude,
white
it's
helmet.
the script has grown on me, but the yellow face mask is crucial in all of their uniform changes.
They're going to beat South Carolina, I guess, Doug. So there, take that. 3.5-point dogs.
Well,
Just keeps
I
moving
hope
different.
so. Need to
Fight,
get back
Tiger.
on track.
Let's see. Pepper and Genie coming up. Jackson and I are going to deal with it down the hallway. Now that the Blues are losing, we're really going to deal with it. And you can text in 65780 or leave a mic drop like Stephen Wildwood. And there could be Tim washing, according to Brian Henry.
Yeah.
Mic drop is
I like
edited.
that.
Time for us to shut down. Close out the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour for the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Sullivan Vaughn, and Tim McCurdy. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.